Krishna, I'm yours. My body, my family, my mind, all my abilities, everything is your property. Just use me as you will. Maro virako viyo ichatoha nityada saprati tula adhika. If you want to kill me, that's my golden life to die. And if you want to protect me, nothing can harm me. When we understand the beauty of the eternality of the soul, then what in this world could really disturb us? Krishna tells in the Gita, Najayate Mriyate Bhakavacha, that the Atma, the living force, the soul within all of us, is never born and never dies. It's eternal. It's a part of God. It cannot be cut into pieces by any weapon. It cannot be drowned by water or burnt by fire. It's transcendent. This body's like a car. The Atma, the soul, is like a driver in this life. And this human life is so precious because it gives us the opportunity to reach the highest destination. But there will be many obstacles in the road. Sometimes when you drive cars, there's traffic jams. But we keep going because we have faith that we're going to get there. So little Prahlad was explaining this to his father. And his father tried to destroy him in every possible way. And little Prahlad, what drove his father most crazy is he couldn't get Prahlad to even get angry with him. His son just kept forgiving him and kept repeating the same little message. This is an obstacle in our life. Fear, egoism, selfishness. These are the obstacles within. So the Prabhupada quotes from the Vedic literatures. There are 6 essential obstacles that are within a conditioned heart. Passionate, selfish desire, greed, envy, arrogance, illusion, anger. When we can conquer these obstacles within, then there's no more fear. We've conquered. Nothing outside of us can possibly affect our purpose in life. Little Prahlad remained loving and compassionate, even when he was totally surrounded by hate and violence. Because he found that love and compassion within himself. Nothing could destroy it. And this is a universal principle of all great saints, of all traditions. In any situation, they're fearless. That fearlessness is not based on the strength of their capacity to fight. It's based on experiencing the power of God's grace, God's love, and realizing how we are instruments of that love. Srila Prabhupada gave an example. In a river with a very strong current, if an elephant goes inside, the elephant is the biggest and strongest animal on earth. The elephant is washed away by the power of the current. But a little tiny fish is just smiling, swimming upstream, downstream, across stream, circles. Is not disturbing. From a physical perspective, if you had a match between a little fish and an elephant, the elephant would crush it in a second. But because the fish has learned to find shelter in the river, it's fearless. And because the elephant has not, all of his power and strength doesn't work. Hiranyakashipu was massively powerful in every way, but he was always afraid. Because as long as we have these selfish, egoistic desires, there must be fear. But Prahlad, he realized the beauty of his own soul. Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanat. Every soul is part of God, of Krishna. Therefore, our nature is, we're beautiful. We're such an ananda. We're full of happiness. We've just somehow or other forgotten it in this dream state of our ego. So Prahlad, because he was seeing the beauty of his own self, and he was tasting the sweetness of Krishna's love, he could see the inherent beauty in his father. Even though his father was the cruelest tyrant practically the world has ever seen, he saw below all these layers of ignorance, there's a beautiful soul who has the capacity to love. When we can overcome that obstacle within ourselves, by cherishing the beauty of seva, or service. It is said that when you get, you make a living. But when you give, you make a life. The evolution of human consciousness is going from the need to get to the joy of giving. And the very origin of that phenomenon is the nature of the soul. Jivara Swarupa Krishnara Nityadasa. We are all eternally servants of God. To love means to serve. As Maharaj explains, bhakti means to be available, to serve. There is no greater joy. A mother's love for a child. There's a joy in giving. I've seen it on the Swami side. I don't have such a close experience, but I hear and I see Chuta Gopi baby with the daughter. The mother's giving, everything. Her whole life, day and night. And little babies, what do they give back? Dirty diapers. But it's a joy. Yes? It's supposed to be. If there's love, there's a joy. So in this world, when we have this spoiled kind of consciousness that I can only be happy when things go my way, there can never be any true happiness. There can be some flickering little sense of happiness, but it's not going to last. Real happiness is in reconnecting with the beauty of our own self in relation to the service of the Lord. And nothing could impede that, not even death, not to speak of any other situation. Leadership from a spiritual perspective is when we see that potential within ourselves, we see the potential in other people also. And we actually have to, by God, we can be an instrument of grace to bring that out in another. If we think, I am doing, then we can't really do much. But if the infinite, inconceivable power and sweetness of God's grace, if we connect to that, and we feel ourselves instruments of that grace, then we can see the potential in everyone. Our own Guru, Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the Lower East Side of New York, where we are today, 1965. From a very holy place in India. He was 70 years old and he had the highest standards of morality, ethics, love, devotion, philosophy. And who was coming to him? Hippies. Something, from an external perspective, must have really been a culture shock. The reporter asked Prabhupada, can you tell me what is a hippie? And Prabhupada said, something extraordinary. And the reporter asked, can you show me a miracle? And Prabhupada said, my miracle is I have made hippies into happies. So there were people who had no faith in God, people who were just drug addicts, alcoholics, just looking for pleasure through free sex and in every type of situation possible. It was considered fashionable to never take a bath. Prabhupada saw in every one of their hearts, in every one of our hearts, I have to confess, he saw something beautiful. He saw the potential of infinite happiness and love and grace. And because he saw that in us, he could actually awaken us to understand who we really are and what our potential is. That is satsang. Satsang means associating with enlightened people who actually draw out our potential because they see it. But we can only see it in others when we see it in ourselves. And when we see that, nothing can destroy. And that was the Dhanurdhara. So eventually, because my time is finished, eventually Hiranyakashipu was so depressed because he couldn't kill his son. He actually he became psychotic by modern psychological terminology. He couldn't do anything. He just sat with his head down because his ego was completely frustrated. And ultimately he said to his little son, in talk fury, where did you get your powers from? And he was gigantic. And little Prahlad, like that little fish in the river, He said, my Father, I love you so much. I get my powers from the same place you get your powers from. From Bhagavan, from the Lord, from Krishna, from Vishnu. Now that was such an insult. Hiranyakashipu screamed at him. His eyes were like red coals. He said, you talk about this Vishnu, God. Where is your God? The Lord said he's everywhere. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, for one who sees me everywhere and everything in me, for that person I'm never lost, nor are they ever lost to me. How do we see God everywhere? It's a very personal thing. It's not just some psychedelic meditation. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada Guru, how do we see God everywhere? In the Gita, Krishna says, Sarva Loka Maheshwara. All the universes, all the planets, and everything else is the property of God. Aham bija pradapika, and every living being is a child of God. So Prabhupada pointed toward his eyeglasses and said, when you see these eyeglasses, what do you think? And the student said, I think these are Prabhupada. These are Prabhupada's eyeglasses. And Prabhupada said, and what do you feel when you think that way? He said, well, I remember you, so I feel love for you. Prabhupada said, everything is the property of God. And everyone is a child of God. When you find that love within yourself, then you remember Krishna in everything. Not that that thing is God, but that thing is of God. And that connection awakens our love. So Prahlad said, God is everywhere. And Hiranyakashipu said, is he in this pillar? And Prahlad said, he's in this pillar. Hiranyakashipu drew his father. He drew this gigantic, sharp sword and said, you dare to defy me? I will personally sever your head on this very day. Let us see how your God protects you. And then out of spite, as he was on his way with his raised sword to cut off the head of his own son with his massive fist, he hit the pillar. And as he was rushing toward his son, this sound that the world has never seen came out from the pillar. Hiranyakashipu stopped. He looked at the pillar. The pillar was trembling. And suddenly, the pillar broke open and the avatar, Narasimha Dev, appeared from the pillar. In the Bible, God appeared as a pillar of fire to protect the Israelites. So pillars are quite traditional. But here he appeared from the pillar. And he was, you see, Hiranyakashipu, to maintain his power and his position, he took benedictions from Lord Brahma. That he could not be killed either inside or outside, either in day or night, either in the sky or in the water or in the land, by any weapon or by any species of life. And it goes on and on. He was very, very thorough. But you see, whatever material arrangements you may make, whatever you have, whatever you can do, if you're on the wrong side, even though he ruled for some time. Sometimes people think, why is somebody getting away with so much? But it's just a matter of time. Time and tide wait for no man. Everything comes to its conclusion, according to our karma or according to the grace of God. So he ruled with all of his cruelty and power and all the benedictions he received for a long time. But the Lord appeared and liberated Hiranyakashipu at the doorstep of his palace. That means he wasn't inside or outside. It was twilight. The sun was just setting, so it was neither day or night. And he put him on his lap. So it wasn't either on the land or in the water or in the sky. And the Lord, because there was no species of life that was allowed to kill him, the Lord appeared half man and half lion. It's not a species. He appeared custom made just for him. Now this is a good lesson. No matter what arrangements you make, no matter what connections you have with government or money or whatever, it's all going to come back to you if you do negative things. And little Prahlad, however much everything's against you, we could be protected. Prahlad's protection was not just that he didn't die. Prahlad's real protection was he never forgot his selfless, loving devotion to the Lord. Narasimhadev offered Prahlad any benediction he desired. You're such a little child, and you underwent so many difficulties just because you were so true and faithful to me. All Prahlad had to do to live a very peaceful material life is what his father said, what is the favorite subject in school? He could have just said, mathematics. But he loved his father so much, he wanted to give him a chance to be elevated. So he spoke the truth. So the Lord, Krishna, he sees what we go through and the obstacles and the injustices that are inevitable in this world for all of us. And we remain humble, faithful. The meek shall inherit the earth, it is said. Prahlad really did that. He became the king. He inherited the earth. But little Prahlad, despite all opposition, he remained an instrument of grace. And the Lord sees that and offered him anything he wants. And what was Prahlad's response? He said, I'm your devotee. My life is to please you. My life is to serve you. And to serve you means to help others, because they're all your children. You can't love the father and mother without wanting to do something for their children. Yes, it's your devotee. I will use you for so many examples. Now I get to use Ananta Govinda. I can't love her without making her child happy. At least trying. I don't know if I succeed, but at least I try. So, this was Prahlad. if I ask anything in return, I'm not your devotee. I'm just doing business with you. Business means I give you something because you're going to give me something in return. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam bhajagadishakami mama janmani janmanishwari avatar bhakti rahoitaki tvai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he revealed to us the heart of the true devotee. Their prayer to the Lord is, I do not want wealth or power or fame or physical pleasures. I don't even want liberation. I just want to serve you and please you according to your will. Narasimha Bhagavan insisted that Prahlad ask for a benediction. He said, give me this benediction, that I will always remember you, and always be in the mood of the servant of your servants. And I don't want to be in the ashrams and the caves where people are living peaceful lives. I want to be where people are suffering, so I can help them. Help to enlighten their souls with your love. Let me take birth again and again and again, as long as there's anybody who's suffering or forgetful of you. Let me take birth in this world to be an instrument of your compassion. And my Lord, my Father, he murdered so many people. He was so cruel to me. He did every possible evil thing. If you want to give a benediction to me, give my father liberation. Bring him back to be your eternal associate in the spiritual world. Narasimha Dev said he's already liberated. Not only that, but I give this benediction out of my gratitude to you, Prahlad. Because of you, I give this benediction to all humanity for all time to come. That means us. That anyone who sincerely takes shelter of me, anyone who calls on my name with great feeling and devotion, and with a pure heart, 21 generations of their relatives will get liberated. Little Prahlad showed us how to overcome all of the obstacles of life through taking shelter, through faith in the grace of Krishna. In that grace of Krishna, faith in the grace of God, comes infinite hope in any situation. When we associate with each other to help each other to come to that realization, then we're really a spiritual community. One time they asked Srila Prabhupada, devotees, so many egos among devotees and so many problems like this and so many shortcomings. And he said, but you should respect each other. He said, if you go to a hospital, it's not that everyone is healthy. A hospital's a place where people come to get better. If we can't forgive each other and see beyond each other's differences and beyond each other's shortcomings, if we can't, we should see the problems, but in harmony and balance with the goodness and the spiritual potential in each other. Because from a spiritual perspective, to overcome our defects is not just smashing it. recognizing it and understanding the dangers of it, but by nourishing our spiritual strengths, we can overcome all these weaknesses. And this is how we overcome our own obstacles. And we actually become instruments to overcome each other's obstacles by seeing that inherent good within ourselves and that divinity within others. To hate the disease, but not the disease. And in this age of Kali, the most powerful, accessible way of purifying ourselves from these unwanted obstacles in our lives within and without is to tune in to the frequency of the infinite peace and multiple grace of God through chanting the Holy Name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You sound so sleepy. Please try again.